Welcome back to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. I'm Pierce Leveson, and I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host,
Travis Patrick.
And today we have a really good episode for you guys. We have a guest on after, I think it's been a week since we've done a guest. I don't know.
No, last week we had Asa.
We had Asa. We did.
We had Asa last week.
Rough memory.
Today, we got a teacher.
We do. We have another teacher, our second teacher, another good one. So, are you just ready to get into it?
Let's get it.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready. Let's get into the beans.
Let's get into the beans. All right, everyone. You may know this person. This lady is in charge of all the amazing plays that go on at the school. She makes sure that you get your book and that they come back on time. If not, you're done for.
Hope you got a paycheck.
Hope you got a paycheck. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah B. Bradford.
Woo! Welcome.
Welcome.
How have you been?
Great. How are you?
It's living life.
Yep.
One podcast at a time.
Yep. Working podcasting.
Part-time work. It's the rain season.
It's the rain season. Are you ready to answer some really good questions?
I'm ready.
Are you
Let's do this.
All right.
Yep.
Travis?
Well, before we get into it, shall we have her introduce herself?
Yeah, we should. Because I'm not good at that. I'm just really excited, okay?
My name is Sarah Bradford. I've been teaching at Sherwood for 24 years.
Wow.
I know, crazy.
Only
isn't it?
Sherwood?
I've been at 24 for Sherwood, and then 25. Oh my goodness, 25 years at Sherwood, 4 years before that. So 29 years I've been teaching.
How much longer you got?
Well, actually, this could be my retirement year, but I'm gonna. Addie would be really mad at me. So
Breaking news.
yeah.
Oh.
No.
That's big.
At least I've got at least 4 more.
Okay.
Does that so? With my career path, if say I go 30 years, I can retire then. But if I keep going, it just makes my retirement more and more. Is that the same for you as a teacher?
It does to a certain point, and then when you reach a certain point, then you're not making as much in your retirement as you have put the time in. So it's if I do it the way that I want to do it, if I teach for 33 years and then I can do a lump sum where you can get like your last 3 years of retirement up front in a lump sum. I mean, you have to pay taxes on it and that stuff, but it'd be a nice little start.
Okay.
So
Your wife was out there. She was looking at us. Well, that's awesome. That's a long time at one place.
yeah, it is.
That's a big portion of your life.
Yeah.
Every day driving to Sherwood.
I know, it's almost half my life.
Yeah.
And what's weird is that, but it doesn't seem like it. I think it's because it's like, you get up every day, and it's year after year, and it just kind of, you kind of fall into a pattern of it.
Right.
And then you're like, wow, it's been 25 years, and I've been at Sherwood, so.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
I hope you can finish out at Sherwood. I mean, I assume you will.
Well,
but
I'm planning on it.
yeah, you never know.
Barring anything bad.
Yeah.
Now, after you for sure retire, you gonna come back and substitute? A little more teaching?
I don't know. Maybe I kind of want to maybe look at the college stuff. I mean, I teach college now. I teach a dual credit class at Sherwood, and so I don't know. I kind of think I'd like that college atmosphere a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and maybe not even teach. Maybe just work in like I don't know. Maybe work for a smaller college and like an office job or even anything like that.
Okay.
Just
All
not
right.
necessarily.
Something to keep you occupied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I will get bored really fast. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. Now we're going to get into the questions. The
Okay.
beans.
All right. Let's
You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5 real questions, 5 real answers with 3 real people. Pierce, you want to start it off today?
I sure will.
All right, let's get into the beans.
All right. What has been your favorite play to direct and why?
I knew that you were going to ask me that. That's like picking between my kids, right? Well, and we talked about, I've done close to, 60, 65 plays.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, directed and acted in, and sometimes I get to do both, and those are not fun. I don't like
No?
those. I mean, I love the plays, but I do not like having to take apart. Like, I've had one. There was one example where the kid ended up couldn't do it dress rehearsal day. And so then here I am, and I become Belle's father in Beauty and the Beast, and I have a mustache that actually falls off during the performance, and all kinds of fun things like that. But and he's supposed to be French, and he ended up with this really weird like Southern accent, but it's okay, it's not a big deal.
Bonjour.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what it was like. But oh man, I can maybe do like top 10, top 5.
Top 5.
Top
Let's do
5.
top 5.
Okay. Oh man, and then somebody's gonna be like, I can't believe you didn't say mine was your favorite. So I'm gonna start off right now saying, and I'm not doing them in order because, well, Pierce was in one of them, and I don't want to offend him. So
Mary Poppins is in the top 5.
Mary Poppins
Oh, it
is
is.
in the top 5. Yes,
let's
it's
go.
in the top 5. I'm just not gonna tell you what number it is. Okay, so Mary Poppins is in the top 5. Shrek.
Ooh.
Shrek was a lot of fun. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Okay.
And that's just, if you know anything about me, I'm a Snoopy fanatic. And so that was, of course, one of my favorites. Oh, I don't think I can do 5. I'm going to have to do more.
You can do more. Do as many as you want.
We just did Frozen, and it was...
I heard that was good.
It was phenomenal. And the crowds, it was insane. I think we had somewhere around 500 or 600 people.
Holy cow.
It was like 300 each night, or 250
Wow.
or 300 each night. So
That's
it was crazy. It was crazy trying to get everybody in and get everything set up. But Frozen was a lot of fun. We've done Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid, and Disney is kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my contracts with theater places are like 3 pages long, and a Disney contract is 15 pages.
Wow.
And I have to sign all my life away, basically, to Disney, saying I won't say anything negative about the company and all this craziness. So,
That's crazy.
those are always crazy though. Oh man, there's been so many, but those are probably some of my top ones.
So, Mary Poppins was the one and only play I did. I was the dad.
You were the dad, Mary
But
Poppins.
I remember I showed up. I don't know what made me do it, but I did it. I remember showing up and someone said, it was like a few practices in, like, you're going to have to kiss Kirsten Smith. And I'm like, what? I think 7th grade. And she was I think she was a senior at the time. I don't remember, but I'm like, what? And I'm like, I okay. And then I remember practice, and then they were like, all right, here comes the kiss. I'm like, and then she like faked a kiss on my cheek. I'm like, thank God. Like, oh, I was so red. If she would have actually kissed me, I would have just been like, like your play would have been ruined. Would have been so ruined. Gosh, that was fun.
Talking about Kirsten, also Nonsense. Nonsense was a lot of fun. So that was one of my favorites. That was my last one with Derek Cross, and we're really good friends.
It's tight, yeah.
Yeah, so that was it was kind of a tough one, but it was also a really good one.
That's cool.
So along with you named off some of your favorite ones.
Right.
What? I'm just curious. You said you've done about 60 plays in your whole career.
Right.
What has been the biggest disaster?
That has happened in one, or just in general?
Like,
the whole thing?
what's been the worst play? Like, disaster-wise, like, nothing was going your way. Everything was messing up.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, there's been... We did, and Seussical, that's another really good one. I can't pick.
Right,
pick
it's hard.
It's like, yeah. Seussical was really good, but I'll never forget. We got, and Emily Young, who used to be Emily Bates. We were, she's my co-director. And then when she just had a baby, so then Caitlin Lucan stepped in, who was Mary Poppins.
Yep, she was.
And but anyway, we were sitting there, and it was getting ready to start. It was the very beginning. The music had already started, and then on the laptop, it was The Circle of Death.
Oh.
It started, and the music stopped, and that was bad. When we did Beauty and the Beast, all the sound went out. The mics went out, the music went out, everything went out. And so I'm on stage because I got lucked into being Belle's father, and I'm in jail at the time. I'm in the dungeon, and the music just stops. Everything stops, and the girls went ahead and they sang it a cappella, and we finished through it, but it was like, oh, that was bad. We did Into the Woods, and the head fell over. We've had flats fall.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we we did Oklahoma. So yeah, Oklahoma, and there's a part where Curly falls on his knife. Well, the kid that was playing Curly actually fell down, and so then he just was like, so he took the knife, yeah, so ended it, and so yeah, there was that. So there's been so
I thought you were gonna
many-
say you fell on the knife, like
No,
actually.
no, he's like he fell down, he fell on his back, and then he's like looking around, and it's like, oh no, what happened? So he just, I was like, oh,
Okay, that's some good
okay.
improv right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. I would have just laid there until the lights went out.
The play Harvey was really hard. It's an old play, and there was a lot of like the lines were very similar, and the kids had a really hard time learning it. And it was a hard one, and the Music Man was really hard.
Yeah.
The Music Man was rough. It was good, but it was rough. So it was hard.
That
So-
sounds pretty stressful. You ever
Oh
like
my
have
gosh.
it bring you down like the tears, like just overwhelmed?
We laugh about it at my house because there's always one night like probably the week before the play starts, and I'm just like, I'm the worst mother, I'm the worst wife, I can't clean my house, I'm the worst teacher, and I have that meltdown, and I was like, no you're not, you're fine. But
Is there one that you haven't done yet that you really want to do?
There's one called The Drowsy Chaperone, and I really like it, but sometimes it's hard to make sure that you have all the kids, and we're always low on boys. It's just the way it goes. And that's true in most productions. So I would like to do it, which leads me to my other one, which I totally miss, which is my all-time favorite musical of all time, is Thoroughly Modern Millie. And we did that a few years ago. Well, I say a few years. They kind of all run together after a while, but it's probably my favorite musical like to actually watch, and so it was a fun one too. But
How do you pick them? Do you like go with all your kids and like put in a vote?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, sometimes like I'll let them pick, especially my seniors. Sometimes like, well, I told Jason Schumacher, he's kind of. He's that kid that I'm like, okay, Jason, you have to wear tights, and he'll be like yellow or green. And he was Peter Pan.
What color?
Yeah, exactly. So, we'd already talked about doing Willy Wonka, and he's like, well, I would really like to do SpongeBob. And I was like, okay, but actually, it was fantastic, and
That's
it
awesome.
was great. But yeah, we did SpongeBob, and that was a lot of fun. And sometimes I let the kids pick. Sometimes Shaylee picked Frozen, yeah. And I told her, I said, well, if he gets to pick SpongeBob, then you've done this. You're basically, since you were in 6th grade, you can go ahead and think about, kind of let me know what you kind of want to do. And so she went with Frozen, and it was fantastic. But but sometimes, and then sometimes I look at the kids that I have. Like when we did Nonsense, there's no men, there's no boys, no male roles, and so it was a little bit easier to cast that one at that point because we didn't have any boys. But I mean, 7 brides for 7 brothers. 2 of my brothers were sisters, so they just dressed like men. So sometimes you have to do that. But,
Nice.
yeah.
One that I've seen on TikTok, which I think would be super funny to see in person, is The Play That Goes Wrong. It just looks so funny.
It's really funny you said that because Sarah Horvatic has been talking to me about doing that.
Oh, really?
She's like, it's a really funny play.
I think they get boys interested because
I'm,
it's funny.
I'm looking at it.
Cool.
Maybe as the fall play. So, hey, maybe you picked it. You called it.
Yep, called it right here.
Woo!
Let's go. That's awesome.
That was good.
All right, Travis, what's the next question?
All right, B-Rad. On to question number 2. What was your high school life like? What did you do? How did you get to where you are now?
My high school life. Wow. Okay, well, I went to Climax Springs. Small school, small town. I had 23 in my graduating class, which was a big class.
Yeah.
I think my brother had 6 or something like that.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. Population is like 91. It's down at the Lake of the Ozarks. I was that all around kid. I just did everything. I really did. But it's like had keep grades up. That was most important. Especially for my dad.
Yeah.
I don't care as long as your grades stay up. So I was like, okay, Dad. But I was in the band. I did the plays. I played softball and basketball, and I even played boys baseball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we had one game when they didn't have enough boys to play. And so they're like, well, can you just step in? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So I stepped in. I played one game of boys baseball. Stepped up to the plate. The pitcher was freaked out. He walked me. And
Nice.
then I stole second. So, woo.
Free base. 2 free bases that
I
day.
know, right? It was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, I did play boys baseball. I was NHS student council president. I was very involved.
Right.
I was very involved. We did something every night, at school. There was always something because there's not a whole lot to do in Climax Springs, Missouri.
Right.
So we did a lot of school activities.
That's fun.
But yeah, I was pretty active, and I was quiet, which is, not super quiet, but I was like I talked, but I was just not, I wasn't like I am now. You guys wouldn't have even recognized me.
Right.
I was kind of like, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But, I talked a lot to my friends, but as for being like a very class clowny kind of, I was not that.
That wasn't you.
That was not me at all, and so it's kind of funny now because I feel like sometimes as the teacher, I'm the class clown. So,
Oh, so what was your first play that you were ever in?
my first play I was ever in, we did this one play. I don't even know what the name. Now the second play I was in was Arsenic and Old Lace, and that was a lot of fun. It's about these 2 old ladies who poison old men who are lonely.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
I was an old lady.
the poisoned old men?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was. But the first play we did like kind of a little farce thing about a school, and what was I? I think I was like I was the principal, and our director was my favorite teacher in high school. He passed away my first year teaching. And he was the play director, and he'd actually been a professional actor. He had done he looked like Mark Twain, so he would do Mark Twain impressions, and he was a neat guy. He was a great teacher, and but yeah, we did this one little thing. He's like, I want you to act like our principal. And she'd always kind of lose her train of thought, and she'd be like, so the whole time I'm like, and so I guess I nailed it. I don't know, but that was my first one that I ever did, and then I got the bug, I guess.
Did you do any in like college too as well?
No, I didn't. I had to keep a 3.5 GPA for my scholarship. So it was like a constant, trying to do something fun like that. I wish I would have. I really wish I would have. I feel like I missed out on that. But, you live and you learn.
Yeah. So is that, doing plays, is that what got you into doing that now?
Yes. Well, and then like I said, my teacher passed away my first year teaching. And so then they're like, can you do the play? And I was like, sure, I can do that. Yeah, okay, great. And I started doing it, and we did the Canterville Ghost. It was a lot of fun, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this. So, and then I started from there, and so. Yeah.
That's fun.
So, how did you get to where you are now?
How did I get to where I am?
Yeah,
now?
from
a grumpy old lady. Or
like what made you choose your paths through? Like you said, you grew up in a small school and did plays and sports and going through college. What made you want to stick to this path?
I guess I could go to 35 proms, but no, not really. I always wanted to be a teacher. My brother, I drove him crazy because I'd want to play school. It'd be summer, and he'd be like, "I've been in school all year. I do not want to play school." I'm like, "Yeah, but just let me be the teacher for a little while." And I had always wanted to be a teacher, and so it's just and you go through. I've done so many different things. School wise, I was head softball coach at my first school. I've coached basketball. I coached basketball at Sherwood, and I coached basketball at Climax Springs. Climax Springs is where I worked my first 4 years, and then I moved up here. I've directed plays. My dad used to say that if they gave me a broom, I'd sweep the floors and do everything else too, because I was there all the time because I was a basketball coach and I was middle school, high school boys and girls assistant.
Wow.
So I was at school every night until like 8:00.
That's crazy.
luckily 8 o'clock. A lot of sometimes it would be like 10, 11, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a lot, and you know, not having a family then, it wasn't that bad, but and I don't know, I love it, and it's like I said too, you kind of fall into a pattern, you know, you just kind of time goes by so fast because you kind of do the same thing all the time, and so you get up, you get ready, you go to school, you do your thing, and then you come home and so, but I don't know, I still love it.
That's awesome.
So on top of that, how you said you were at Climax Springs for your first 4 years or whatever. How did you find yourself all the way from Ozark Lake all the way up to Sherwood Community?
Well, I got married.
Oh, okay.
John graduated from Belton.
Okay.
He's lived here his whole life, and so he lived in Harrisonville. And so right before we got married, I started looking for schools, and Sherwood was where I wanted to go. I like the small school. It's just it's a good setting for me because, well, I love to get to know kids and get to know people, and I mean, good grief. You know, well, I'm still hanging out with you guys on a Sunday night.
Exactly.
But you know, and so I moved when I'll never forget. I came in the door and my mom's like, "Oh, there's a message on the answering machine." And I pushed it, and it was at the time it was Mr. Lewis, and he was the principal at Sherwood, and he's like, "We'd really like to set up an interview," and I was over the moon. I was so excited, and I applied at quite a few schools, but it's where I wanted to be.
That's awesome.
It just really is. I mean, I love it. You know, when it's like just out there in the middle of the road, and it's just I love the small school, and I've been happy that that's where I went.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying I love small schools too. Like I wouldn't change that. Like, I mean, I've heard so many crazy stories about these inner city schools and like. You know, like at Sherwood, I mean, we had a fire, we had a bomb threat. And that's all I can really remember. Well, that's pretty cool,
Right?
But I mean, I went there for K through 12, and that's the only thing that happened. We're good. Like,
right. Well, and it's just it's like a family, and
Exactly.
you can't explain that to people if they haven't experienced it, they don't understand. It really is like a family. You come together. Something bad happens, you come together. Something good happens, you celebrate with each other. It's just. And that's just what I love, and I've just been really happy there.
So this is a little off topic,
sorry.
but I feel like this is a good. I'd like to know answers, and I mean, you've been at Sherwood for 25 years, so you probably have really good information on this topic. How do you feel when people talk about Sherwood being a good starter school? To be there for a year and then leave to start their actual career.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. And well, let me preface that by saying the thing that drives me insane, and I don't know, I'm probably going to get a lot of. Hope you guys don't get negative feedback about this, but
No, it's okay.
I just graduated from Sherwood. That makes me crazy.
Oh,
That
yeah.
phrase makes me crazy because I'm like, you know what? You're saying bad things about me, and I was like, it's not bad. I mean. There have been many kids who have graduated from Sherwood and have gone to do all kinds of things. And, you know, my kids graduated from there, Isaiah has, and Addie's going to. And it's just, you know, I think that bothers me. And, there are just some people that the small school is not made for. And I can understand that if that's the situation. But if they're just like, well, I'm going to start here and then I'm going to go somewhere else I'm all about longevity. I stayed.
Right.
And there have been times. There was one time I think that there were only like 2 or 3 of us in the entire high school that stayed, and so, but it's some people just aren't built to have that connection.
Right.
So
For sure. It's just crazy. Like, I mean, we've seen so many teachers, newer teachers come and go. And then, like, I mean, it's just crazy to think, too, like, people say, like, oh, I graduated from Sherwood, and, like, I can't do anything in my life with it, or whatever. Like, we have a famous country artist.
Yeah.
2 Division I
having
softball
class.
players.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, there's been more, like, Zach's professional baseball right now. And it's just, like, I mean, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Like,
Yeah.
But people think, I went to Sherwood, I can't do math or
Right.
whatever. That's the one I hear is, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
I don't know how to
do that. I went to Sherwood. That
Right.
drives me insane.
Yeah, it's kinda crazy.
I heard that a lot growing up. Like,
Me too.
people, like, meeting people from, like, other schools. Like, oh, where do you go? And we're like, oh, Sherwood. Like, oh, you go to Sherwood? I'm like, yeah, what's so funny about me going to you go to Harrisonville, like what? There's not big of a difference,
Well,
really.
and I mean, our test scores are just as good as a lot
Yeah.
of places, and we've been a bronze medal school, and I mean, we got a good thing going.
Right. It's crazy too, talking to like inner city school people or like just bigger schools, and they don't know half the people in their graduating class.
No.
Like I have friends who I work with a guy who went to Ray Peck, and one of my friends went to school with him. So I'm like, hey, do you know this guy? And he's like, no. I'm like, he said he graduated in 2020 from Ray Peck. And he goes, dude, I've known like 4 people. Like I see a different face every day when I was at school.
Right.
Like it's just crazy.
Like there's sometimes I walk down the hallway, I'm like, who's that kid? How do I not know that kid? And it's like, excuse me, what's your name? Because you know the kids, you know their parents. And like for me now that I've made the transition to the elementary, it's that, these kids come up to me, do you know my dad? Yeah, I was his teacher. So it's like, okay. I have one little girl one time, she's like, do you know my dad? I was like, I don't know, what's his name? And she goes, Dad? I was like, maybe.
Yeah, I know, Dad. Yeah.
That's how I felt when we had Miss Borum for the first time. It's because she would tell us, like, I taught here for so long, and I'm like, did you know our parents? And she goes, oh, yeah. Yeah, and I know your grandparents, too. I'm like, okay. Oh, she was the best.
I miss her so much.
Me too. She was the best.
Was so funny. I loved her so much. I'll never forget one time I had this. You guys remember the palm tree I had in the library?
Yeah.
Yes.
She comes in, she goes, I think your tree's growing. It's fake, Bev. It's fake.
And then she'd leave
She's
those
the best, though.
2-page long sub notes.
Oh, they were the best. I love reading them. I actually have kept some of them.
Really?
Yeah. I just get them out every once in a while. I'm just like, oh, because they were great. Like she'd write down like so and so sneezed at 2:15, and I was like, that is the best. I miss her so much. She was so great.
She cared so much, too. Like, the thing was, like, when we had a sub, and it was like, if it wasn't Mr. or Miss Borum, it was like, oh, it's an easy day. But if you walk in the Ag building and it's Mr. or Miss Borum, it's like,
Oh,
all right, bookwork.
Yeah, we're gonna do schoolwork today.
Open up a magazine and write down the first 5 articles you see and tell me what you learned about them. I'm like, all right.
Or Mr. Orr's punishments, if you were bad in his class, he would just find a random book, open a page, and say, all right, start writing word for word this whole page.
Yeah. Remember when we had to write the Pledge of Allegiance? So someone was talking during the Pledge of Allegiance, and he wasn't having it. It's messed up. Yeah. And, he made us all in the locker room. We were in middle school.
I remember.
Get a piece of paper and a pencil, and we weren't going to the gym until we wrote the Pledge of Allegiance, to fill the whole paper, both sides. No, it was
man.
No one ever interrupted the Pledge of Allegiance again.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Back on topic, Travis.
All right, back on topic.
All right. So how much has changed since you started at the school to now?
Oh man. Well, even the looks of the place has changed. I mean, it's like there used to be a teacher's lounge like right there in the cafeteria, and there used to be like 2 like plexiglass like walls like in the cafeteria that separated them, and so there was like 2 rooms to the cafeteria, and then they added like the new entryway on all of them and everything.
Yeah, those look good.
Cosmetically, it's changed a lot, and I go to other schools sometimes. I'm just like, man, Sherwood looks so good.
Right.
It really does. It's just I love the way it looks, and for teaching wise, I mean, there's been a lot of teachers in and out, a lot of new faces and that kind of thing, but education has just changed a lot.
Right.
It really has. I mean, compared to like when I first started and that kind of thing. When I first started, though, it was kind of tough for me because I went back and I taught at Climax Springs where I went to high school. And so all these boys were my brother's friends. And I had them in class, and I'd be like, I had one boy come in one time and he's like, I'm here to learn what time I'm picking you up. And, it's like, okay, no, stop, because they thought that they could just say whatever. And so that was kind of a hard transition. But as for Sherwood, though, I mean, like I said, cosmetically, and then, there's been a lot of different faces and different things, but education just changes a lot.
Right. I feel like the culture changes every year, too.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about it with Jonna. Like, I mean, the the student involvement has just keeps going down, and like I've seen a lot of stuff, and I keep getting my sources from TikTok, but like all these kids are crazy. Like the things they say out loud or the things they do is like we knew better than what to do. Like it's crazy that people have no respect for these people who are essentially, depending on where you're at, like sometimes it seems like they're babysitting, having to babysit these kids. And
yeah, it's hard to teach sometimes when you're constantly disciplining.
Right.
But yeah, that is definitely different. And culture, you're talking about culture. Sherwood is just it's so interesting to me because you have and I know that this is true in all schools, but you have the cowboy hat wearing kids, and then you have the baseball cap wearing kids, and then you have it's just like, I don't know.
All different cliques.
It is, and it's very eclectic, but it's just like, and that's another thing, talking about, like you were saying earlier, like we've been talking about the whole, I graduated from Sherwood, and that's what they'll say, oh, that's a bunch of hicks, isn't it? And it's like, no, it's not. It's just, but that's sometimes what they say.
Right.
Kind of thing.
No, it's just crazy, the disrespect.
Yeah.
These kids. So what's something that, like, I'm trying to think of something fun. But like, what's something?
Are you saying I'm not fun? Is that
No, I'm trying to expand the question because it was pretty straightforward. What's something from when you started, or like over the years, that Sherwood did that isn't there anymore that you would want to be back?
I used to love the senior parade when they left the last day of school. Yeah.
We never did that because COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hold the record.
To do a
They
lot
still
of stuff
don't do that?
Well, no, but they used to do the seniors would drive around the parking lot like the last day of school, but then kids got to throw in water balloons and stuff, and then it's just like, no, can't do that anymore. I was like, okay. Spring fever reliever, that was a lot of fun. It would be like a track and field day for the high school, and it was like all day long, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. My first couple of years, I was in charge of it, and I had no idea what I was doing because I was student council. I'm like, well, okay, guys, whatever, and so the kids were more in charge because I just really didn't know what was going on.
Right.
But that was a lot of fun, and I do kind of miss that. So I don't know. You get traditions set a lot of times, and
right.
Really, I think we have a lot of traditions that we still kind of do. So
Yes, they still do a field day.
You guys are gonna say that too?
In the elementary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
They
was
do.
the best.
They do. Yeah. In fact, Addie, I got to chaperone hers, so that was different since now I'm in elementary. So
I got to do one my junior year. That was really fun. Lake, we got to school in Lake, and I was walking with Sage Copeland, and Coach Lake was like, "Hey, you guys want to help with field day?" I'm like, "Do I get out of class?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, all right, let's go.
let's do it.
Well, I had to go take a test in Kettner's. I had to go pass a test in Kettner's because I'm like, I gotta go take this test real quick. Can I please go take this and then come out? And he goes, "Yeah, but make it quick." I'm like, "Oh, I gotta rush this now." And I was in there for like 20 minutes, and Miss Kettner was great. I got so lucky because she never let anyone retake her test.
Yeah.
But she let me because I was working so hard on it, like with it, and she's the best. Field day was the best.
I remember that our junior year when Lake was getting like volunteers and stuff. I was like, man, I love sports. Let me come like volunteer and help out. And he's like, hey, you're on the list because you're not mature enough to actually be out there. I'm not kidding you. I was so, dude.
Too much your
My
own
face
kids.
went so red and I was so furious. I was so mad. I was like, what do you mean? I know all these kids. I was still refereeing youth sports at the time. Like, I know all these kids. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I just can't let you. I'm
I
like,
could see him
you're
saying
joking. And I was so mad.
I'm pretty sure Hunter was out there. No, I'm just kidding.
I was mad.
They'll let Hunter and Aaron out there, but not Travis.
That was a lot of rain on my day when I heard that.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I think I did. I
Call
think
him
I
out.
ended up sneaking out there for like the last 30 minutes of it or whatever. But I didn't get much time. Everyone was picking up at that point. I was like, oh yeah.
I get to go out to pick.
Oh, I don't get to play with kids anymore. Think about that for a second, Travis. All right. This is a real thinker question now.
Oh no.
If you had to read one book for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Oh man. Well, my favorite novel ever is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I could probably reread it over and over. In fact, I did. I used to teach it. So then it was like, oh my word. So many times.
Right.
I teach it 3 hours a day every year for when I was teaching high school English. So it was just like, okay. But I never got tired of it. And it's funny, it's sad, it's there's so many things that happen in that book. And I love that book. It's one of my favorites. I also like The Help. The Help is one of my favorite books too. I taught that when I did in one of my dual credit classes. They had us teach The Help, and The Help is such a crazy thing because the book is so fantastic, but then the movie is also great. You know, because a lot of times especially when you're an English teacher, it's like, oh, I love that book, but that movie was terrible. You know, a lot, but I mean they're different, but they both have merit. And so, but The Help is sorry, it'd have to be two of them. I'd have to take The Help and To Kill a Mockingbird if I get a little tired.
To Kill a Mockingbird movie was pretty good. The old one.
Yes, with Gregory Peck.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It was really good. It was on Netflix for a while too.
Yes, I think Atticus Finch is like the greatest character in literature, and so. But there's just I still to this day, and I'll probably choke up a little bit when she turns around and she sees Boo Radley, and she's like, "Hey, Boo!" I just like, oh, it pulls my heartstrings. I just love that. I love that book. I really, really do.
What do you think about what was the book called? Where they burned the 1984?
1984, yeah.
That was a good one too. The movie sucked.
Yeah, was it like a 1970s like psychedelic?
No, we watched it was in Schlichter's, wasn't it? We watched the new one.
I remember watching. I don't know.
We watched one of them, but it just was so boring. Like it wasn't as cool as the book made it out. Like not like cool, but like intense. It didn't seem like it was over.
I was thinking about Fahrenheit 451.
That's a good one too.
But that movie there was like this weird psychedelic scene. It was like a 1970s movie. The one when I taught it 1 year in novels, and so. But it's a good one too. I like you guys get me talking on books. We may not leave tonight. You're like, okay, that's enough.
Well,
when was the last time you read a book?
I read a book.
When was the last time you read a book?
I mean,
didn't finish it. Just read a book
without pictures.
Without.
I honestly, I can't even tell you really. If I was to be honest, like actually, I'm not talking like textbook or anything. Like open like an actual like literature book from a library. I'd probably have to say my junior year, maybe sophomore year. I've actually opened up like a How to Kill a Mockingbird type book.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, I flip through like hunting magazines. I know that's not really a book, but that's. But I don't really even read it. I just look through the catalogs and stuff. But
so it has pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Her point.
Now, on top of this book, the book topic, how you said you could talk about it for days on end. This might be a little brain scratcher, but throw it out there. How many books do you think you've read?
Oh man.
The whole library, boys.
Yeah. I honestly could not even fathom a guess. I read a lot of books, especially now with a Kindle. But the good thing about a Kindle though is I have Amazon Prime, you know, so I can just check out. I have got like 15 books in my cart or my reading queue or whatever right now. But it's like because when you buy a book. It's like, okay, I have to read it. Right. Even if it's terrible and I don't like it, I still have to read it. With the Kindle, it's like, oh, no, you're terrible. I'm just, no, I'm closing it. You're done. So I couldn't even. Because, and where I'm at, well, you know, you look, I read picture books every week, you know, to the elementary kids. And some of those are just, I mean, there's a monster at the end of this book with Grover. Still one of my favorites. It just, you know, and we read, what did we read? This week we read one about an alligator. Don't take an alligator. Oh, if you want to take an alligator to school, don't. And it was just really funny. He like tries to eat one of her friends and stuff. And it was really cute. But I've read so many picture books and then books I've read in high school. And when I was a high school librarian, you know, I would read those books like once a week. You know,
Wow.
I get a new
Wow.
one. So and I get what my problem is like I get started on a series. And then it's like I have to finish
Oh,
the series.
yeah.
I mean, you know, even like Harry Potter and that stuff. But then there's some like, of course, I can't even think of any right now. But there are so many of them that The Winter's Curse is one, and those kind of books. And I get started on them, and then it's like, okay, I finished that one. I got to read the second one. I got to read the third one. I got to read the fourth one. So that's a problem for me.
I've started reading again. Like I never like read much in high school. I think along with Travis, like junior year is probably the last time I read a book. But like I've been reading a lot. I mean, I've been reading the Bible. I've been doing that a lot.
Well, yeah, and that kind of goes without saying. But
Yeah, but I've been reading this one book. It's called Swerve or Die. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a like documentary or like what do you call those? The books? I mean, it's about a lot like a biography.
It's a biography or an autobiography. If it's about himself, it's an autobiography.
It's about his life, but about
a memoir. It could be a memoir.
okay, I think
That's
so.
what
His
I'm
son
reading right
died.
Now,
Yeah.
I will say on top of that, with how I say I haven't read a book since probably like my junior year, I do want to start getting into those books that are like David Goggins, if you know who that is. The guy that's, I mean, he was really overweight and then wanted to join the military and he couldn't because he was too big, and he's just about embracing the suck and all this stuff. I just want to read like more of like those books.
Like
and,
motivational.
like, yeah,
almost.
motivational books and like investment type books and
Right.
build my how to like handle money better. Like,
Right, build
just-
knowledge off of
yeah.
it.
Like I'm not too big into like Harry Potter or anything like the
Fictional.
Yeah, fictional
Right.
stuff. I want to read stuff that I could put more to use. Or
That makes sense.
Yeah.
read more about people's journeys and stuff.
Right.
That's more of if I were to start, which I do want to get into like books like that again. I feel like I never have time really.
Yeah.
That's what the biggest part is. Like I feel. I mean, I know I got time. Everyone's got time somewhere,
Mhm.
but that's what I want to do with my time. you
Well,
know?
and that's the thing, like, as a teacher, is because this is the problem that I have is, like, it's like, okay, I've got a stack of papers I really need to be grading, but there's one more chapter left. I
Right.
can do it. And so that's hard. And plus I have 2 children. Well, I have one at home.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm reading, what is the name of that book? When I talk about running, what I'm talking about when I talk about running. My kids are tracksters, and
Mhm.
I have friends that are tracksters, and so it's like I've been reading that right now, and it's kind of interesting. It's a guy who writes books, but he's talking about how writing books and running are a lot. He like runs marathons and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a really cool book. I've been reading it, but I also started listening to it audibly because it's on Audible, because it's just a little bit easier. Like when I'm driving back from
Right.
Pittsburgh, you got 2 hours. You're sitting there and like it's just like I don't listen to music anymore, which is weird because I'm a huge music person. I love music, but it's just like okay, I just need something different for a little while,
Right.
especially when you're on the road for 2 hours. So
Well, at work, when I'm at work, 8 hours a day, I'm listening to music. And so I'll get in my car, I'll start some music, and I'm like, I'm not into this. I'll literally just turn on a podcast, even if I'm 20 minutes from home, 10 minutes from home.
right.
I'll get to Harrisonville from Belton, and I'm like, I can't do the music anymore. So I'll turn on a podcast and or I'll talk I don't know, just conversations to get your brain moving. I can't use my vocal cords for 12 hours a day.
I feel that.
Have you ever wanted to write a book?
I was just
Or
about to ask
have you,
that.
or have you been working on that secretly that you can expose?
I have. I probably have. I don't know, 4 or 5 that I've started. It's like picking a genre is really hard for me because I like so many things, like a memoir and that kind of thing. I think it would be fun to write like a book about like things that happen during school, things that happen at school, because there's just so many crazy things that happen.
I was just
sometimes.
thinking you would be perfect for that. You see so much.
I do. I see things. Kids say things. It's just there's so much that goes on, and I kind of think that would be a fun one. And then of course I've started some crazy sci-fi young adult, and it's
Right.
It would be fun, and I'd like to do it maybe when I retire.
Yeah, you'll have the time.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a copy.
Yes. Sign.
Make sure there's pictures in there. I'll look into it.
Portrait.
Oh man, I just realized I didn't take my jacket off to wear.
Oh.
So I keep forgetting to wear my podcast shirt, and I told Travis, I'm like, hey, I wore my shirt today. And he goes, finally, and then I just realized
You're still
You got your jacket.
I got my jacket on. I mean, it's camo. You should see through it.
I think you're wearing a shirt.
I can't even see you.
Okay, so this is the last one, and it goes
Oh,
perfectly.
that's sad. This has been fun.
Well, actually, we have a hypothetical question.
Oh my.
This,
Okay.
Yep. But this is the last question of our segment, and it goes along with what we just talked about.
Okay.
What are some of your one favorite story from teaching? What's the main seller of your book?
The main seller of my book. There are so many things. My dad's favorite, and he constantly brings it up. As I had this little first grade boy, he comes up to me and goes, "My dad, he's a big old boy about your size." Fantastic. Thank you for that. Miss Bradford, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but why you got fat thumbs?
Oh my god!
I was like, didn't know I had fat thumbs. Okay, thank you. You know, and the elementary, they are just full of all kinds of comments and talking. And this one kid goes, "Well, who's Elvis Presley?" And the other kid goes, "He's the king of pop." And this little girl looks at him. She's like second grade, and she goes, "Michael Jackson's the king of pop. Elvis is the king of rock and roll."
Oh,
and I
heck
was
yeah!
just like, okay,
She gets it.
So they're funny. There's been so many things, funny things. There's so many memories, sad things.
Are you seriously going pee?
I can't hold it anymore.
This guy. This is the second time he's done that
So, What do
recently.
you want to talk about Travis?
So he talks about how he's a union operator all the time. I just can't deal with it anymore. We get it. You're successful.
Congratulations.
I throw boxes for a living, okay?
I
No.
mold the minds of America.
Exactly. He just sits and presses buttons all day. While we're waiting for Travis, one of my favorite memories, I'm trying to think of one from you, but I know how excited you were when we used my dog in the play. Dolly, you were so excited.
Yeah.
She was there like every day.
Yeah.
Like even if we didn't really need her, like, hey, let's run that scene again. Like,
Yeah, let's do it again. Oh. She heard.
but no, it was just that was such a good memory because it's like like you were so happy and it was all kind of going together well. Like I remember that play did turn out really good.
Yeah.
Like I was so afraid of messing up because I've never done something like that before.
Right?
But, oh, how are you?
Sorry, guys, I'm a little late.
Oh, we're just talking crap.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite memory with B-Red?
My favorite memory?
Oh, no.
I'll give you my favorite memory, and then something I feel really bad about still to this day.
Oh, so is it confession time?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll have to confess. But let me think. My
Great.
favorite memory.
Is it going to make me
Confess?
look bad? Because
Man. As many people may know me, I was in the library a lot.
Not reading.
Not reading. Usually doing something I wasn't supposed to do or whatever. But, man, I don't... It'd have to be... My favorite memory would be just sneaking in through the library door to go into the teacher's conference room where they always have those potlucks and everything. I'd sneak in, and he'd look at me, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Bradford." You're like, "What do you need?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to go look at some books over here." Knowing that you knew better, I wasn't doing that. And you just hear the door just slam real loud. I'd be in there making a plate real fast, trying to escape before Miss Everhart came in and caught me.
She caught you?
I do many times.
What'd she say?
She would yell at me. Like, she would get mad.
Yes, you didn't bring nothing. You didn't contribute to their meal.
I didn't. But,
That's such a you thing to
Yeah,
do, too.
that's one of my favorite memories. They happen many times, too. It happened all the time. But I'd always sneak in through the library because they'd lock the doors in the hallway so kids couldn't just go through the door. So I'd have to sneak through.
that side door.
But the one confession I feel super bad is I remember I took my senior year, my senior year. I was doing the cadet, the student teacher cadet thing,
Yeah.
and
Oh no.
I was that was through you. It was through you. And my schedule, I was trying to play college football, and I wasn't NCAA eligible yet, so I had to change up some of my classes. 'Cause I was taking easy classes, and I had to change them up to take other classes, and I was too scared to tell you about it. And I was trying to avoid you for a couple of weeks because my schedule's changed.
Wow.
And you still thought I was in there, and you're like, Travis, how come you're not submitting anything? You're emailing me and stuff. And every time I see you in the hallway, I try to dodge you. You asked me one day, you're like, Travis, you have not submitted anything. I was like, Brad, I'm sorry, but I dropped that like a month and a half ago.
You never told me. Am I really that scary?
That's what I'm thinking
What am I
too.
gonna do?
I just felt so bad. I was
okay,
like,
don't ever talk to me again. I can't believe you dropped my class.
well, it was either drop your class or drop. I was Stan Tabor's technology assistant too, so it was either drop.
He picked Stan over you.
Pick Stan over me.
I did.
I did. Well,
felt
you got
so bad.
Well, he's
I felt
honors
so
4
bad.
years later.
I'm sorry, Travis. That is hilarious.
That's my confession. I feel much better now as a human.
I'm so glad.
I feel relieved now.
Oh, do you have any like favorite moments from either of us or just
Well, Mary Poppins,
English.
of course. Mary
Duh.
Poppins was fun.
Chim Chim
Dual
Mary
credit.
True.
We had some crazy times. Yeah, it's like, let me think. Mary Poppins was fun.
It was fun, and I never did one after that. And it wasn't your fault. It was just
I know. Well, you
I was scared.
I think you maybe talked about trying out and then you didn't try it.
I came to an audition, and then I'm like,
I think I gave you a role and then you're like, I can't do it.
yeah.
Because I think I was gonna have you sing maybe or something.
No, so I remember this. It was there was a
you
meet.
got, no, you're totally wrong. Let me tell you what
it's
it was.
hitting me again. So it was the old. I remember it's the old library configuration where you're at the front instead of the back.
Oh yeah.
So you had the auditions in the library. So I got to school early, and it was for some movie. And it was about the mob, I think maybe. I don't know if it was the mob, but we had to use a Brooklyn accent or like a mob accent or whatever, and I just couldn't do it.
Is it the bearded ladies one?
I don't know, but there's this one dude. I forgot his name, and he was just going crazy, like doing great, doing like the best accent I've ever heard, and I'm just like, yeah, this is not for me. And I was like, "Park the car in the yard." Like I tried my best. I swear, those are my exact words. I couldn't think of anything. So I literally, you're like, "Here's try yours," and I'm just like, "Park the car in the yard."
Do that one more time.
Park the car in the yard.
What's that even mean?
Park the car in the yard. It must have been really bad if Travis can't understand it. Oh, it was so funny. But like, I remember leaving, and I texted my mom like, "Hey, this isn't for me." She goes, "Why?" I'm like, "I can't do a Brooklyn accent." Like, oh my
Should've
god.
We
just
could have
texted her
worked
that.
around that.
No, I would have ruined it because that's what happened. That's what happened with Mary Poppins is that we couldn't decide if we were doing a British accent or not. But Elizabeth Riggs could freaking nail it, and I was like, "Hello," like that's all I could say. I want some tea and crumpets, bruv. Like I couldn't do it. So then we just stick like we're just gonna English. I'm like, or like American. I don't know. But she nailed it. I just remember her going crazy with it. I'm like, pop off.
I'm
Like,
tearing up right now.
yeah. Acting is not in my forte. All right. Well, that was 5 real questions, 5 real answers with 3 real people.
That was good.
The ghost.
Why?
I was
And
so
one confession.
one confession. I was so embarrassed after. I walked out of there and I'm like, I just embarrassed myself for a minute and a half.
Do it one more time.
One more time.
For the pod. Give it your all. Give it your all.
Park the car in the yard.
I saw you pterodactyl.
Oh man. Oh, it was so bad.
Let me get. I'll give it my best shot.
Yeah, say park the car in the.
Park the car in the yard.
Park the car.
Park the car. I can't do it that
We're trying
All I
out
want to know is why do you guys always have to do this every time you do
because that's what they do.
It's like,
Gabagool. I don't. That's what they do.
Give me the more gabagool.
We're Where's the freaking gabagool? I don't know. I'm white. I'm American. I don't know Brooklyn Italian, so I'm sorry if we offended anyone. Fuck the
I can't even do. I can't do a Brooklyn accent. I've tried.
I forgot that kid. Mason something. He was older than us. I don't know what year it was. It had to have been my freshman year, or it might have been the play the following. Mason's. He was in the military for a minute.
And he's older than us?
He's older than us. Black hair. He wasn't like big. He wasn't
Did he
like.
actually do the play?
I don't know. I wasn't in it. I didn't show up.
Oh yeah.
I was hiding in my closet after that day.
I don't know.
We could have totally worked around that. Totally worked.
Well, now
around
I know.
it.
I'll try out next time, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Just if there's Brooklyn accents, I'm out. Or any type of accent, I'm out.
I actually had a past student come back, and Paco Gonzalez. He came back and actually did a play for me as an adult. He had a child. He came back. And
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, you let him do it.
Yep.
It was
I
fun.
was like, I need a dad. Can you do it?
Podcast while we're doing the play. They'll make a play about us. And we'll be ourselves.
That's what Brad can do. She can make a play about our podcast, and then we can take the live futon, put it up on stage, and they can have people act like us.
We'll act like our younger selves doing
Jay
the
and Silent
podcast. They'll have a younger us doing the podcast. And then at the end, we'll walk out and like, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. And then the lights go dim, and then we break into song or something.
And we just start talking in
We
Brooklyn
sit in
accents.
front of mics.
Fuck guy.
Back the guy in the yard. Oh my gosh.
Who's got the gabagool?
Who's got the gabagool?
We need more cheddar.
More mozzarella. Gosh. Maybe I should be an actor. Man,
You should have.
I'm the next Jonah Hill. All right. Well, we're going to move on to our everyone's second favorite segment, which is the hypothetical question of the week. Me and Travis did this one a while ago, and it's a really good one, so we wanted to share it with you. So if you were on death row, what would your final meal be? Like, as much as you want or as little as you want?
As much as I want or as little as I want?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You didn't tell me about this question. I'm not ready for it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Two plates of gabagool.
I'm still embarrassed.
That's gonna be good on the TikTok.
Yeah, well.
Good grief. Well, I know that I would have tiramisu because it's my favorite.
Oh, tiramisu hits.
I love it so much. In fact, I went to Walmart and bought one at like a piece of it the other day when I was in Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
And I'm diabetic, so it was all kinds of craziness. And but you know, hey, tiramisu's worth it.
Exactly.
Wow, man. I mean, I'm a big girl. I like food. Okay. Fried chicken if it's good fried chicken. But it's got to be good fried chicken. It can't be this soggy nasty.
No
stuff.
KFC?
No, probably not. No.
Yeah,
That's gotta be like great grandma's
Yes,
homemade.
in like Crisco kind
Yeah.
of
Yep.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes and gravy.
Why you white gravy or brown gravy?
If it's chicken, it's got to be white. But if it's roast, it's got to be brown.
Yep. Taking
yeah.
this jacket off.
Roast, yes, gotta be brown, but all across the board, I am a white gravy connoisseur. White gravy, all the anything. I mean, I don't brown
Biscuits
gravy.
and brown gravy.
Yeah, that would be gross.
Well, like everyone always like puts brown gravy with their turkey. I'm a white gravy guy.
Really?
Yeah. No one makes it.
Brown
though.
gravy
Yeah.
and turkey's good.
My mom, it's not really like a brown gravy. It's more like the turkey gravy. It's kind of like this beige color.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would probably be. I don't know though. Also, if it's good enchiladas,
Oh.
I'm up for that too. So, I mean, if it's my last meal, I'm gonna go out.
So what's your drink? What are you gonna drink? What are you gonna wash it
You
down?
wash it
with?
down with.
Mountain Dew Live Wire or a cream soda.
Ooh,
Oh, Livewire Mountain Dew is good.
I love cream soda.
I love cream soda. It's one of my favorites.
And
And a whatchamacallit.
Oh.
If I have a whatchamacallit and a cream soda.
Is that candy? Or-
Yeah, it's a candy bar. It's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like Rice Krispie stuff in it. It's so good, but yeah.
I've never had a
diabetic,
cream soda before.
It'd be a good thing it was my last meal because I'm diabetic.
You've never had cream soda? Grow
It
up.
just sounded kind of as a kid, it sounded gross to me. Like,
Oh, it's
cream
amazing.
soda. Is it just like smoother or something, or is it just a flavor?
It's a flavor. It's like vanilla-y. It's very
Ooh,
vanilla.
I
You
like
should try
vanilla.
the Dr Pepper cream soda.
It's
Oh,
good.
never mind, I had
It's
that.
good,
You're right.
too.
No.
It's good.
Well, that's
too.
that's not like the OG cream soda.
Okay, I was
that's
gonna say-
good, but the OG cream soda.
I thought that was just like its own thing. Like
What?
I thought cream soda was like just one thing. Like is like every drink have a cream soda version of it?
No, I don't. I think Dr Pepper just collabed with them. Like
Yeah.
you go
Oh.
you go to the gas station and their bottles look a little different. They-
Oh, they're the lighter ones. They're always like the A&W one.
yeah,
it's like a lighter
yeah,
brown.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, a Sonic chili cheese, the wraps that they have.
The
those,
Frito,
the Frito burritos.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Ooh, I love those.
They
guys.
went away for a while,
I know,
and then they
they're-
brought them back.
And now they're gone again.
They're gone again?
Yes. Now they got those buffalo chicken.
That's not
things.
good. I got
The
one
fried
the
buffalo
other-
chicken
Yeah,
dippers?
they're okay, but
They're good.
I didn't like them.
The fried pickles were really
The pickle
good.
sticks.
Yes.
Those were
good.
fire, yep.
Yeah, those burrito, chili cheese wrap. I don't know what they. No, that's Taco Bell. I don't know, but yeah, those
The
from
Frito
Sonic,
burritos.
those are really
Mm.
good. Like when they come back, it's just like, when I had COVID, man, we got in the car and drove to Sonic, and I'm dying right now, but I really want one of those. It was the only thing I could eat.
Man.
What about you, Pierce? What's your death row?
So I've had a lot of time to think about this since the last
Must
episode.
be nice.
Yeah, sorry. You don't think about your last meal anytime, like if you were
I
on death
don't
row?
really think about being on death row.
Oh, you're right.
Well, sometimes I do. But-
Well, me and Pierce have gone through a lot of legal actions that we have to think about this daily just because we're probably getting locked up.
Yeah, you have to think. I always think of scenarios in my head. I'm like, what's something Travis would ask me in the middle of the podcast? So I just think about scenarios. None of them have happened yet, but last meal. I'm just gonna go like straight. Like, I'm gonna make it easy. Fast food places.
Okay.
I want a box combo from Cane's. No slaw
toast. You gotta
with
get
extra
toast.
toast. No slaw, extra toast, and an extra thing of cane sauce with some Louisiana hot or whatever.
You want like one of those medium-sized cups full of cane sauce?
No, that's too much.
Too much.
No. A large cane sweet tea. Their sweet tea is actually really freaking good. Got to go with McDoubles
Ooh.
and McChickens, and then throw in a Taco Bell quesadilla and a Baja Blast, and I'm set. Baja Blast hits.
I'm a live wire girl, but Baja Blast is
I like Code Red. That's my favorite
That's
Mountain
good,
Dew.
I like light the blue one, the
Voltage.
voltage. Yeah.
Voltage is good.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's good stuff.
Dew SA was really good. Did you have Dew SA? When they had the red, white, and blue ones?
I had
It was a
I don't
mix of
remember
Code Red and Voltage, and then the white one. I don't
Yeah,
know what the
yeah.
white one's called, but it's very good.
that. Was it called Whiteout? Oh. No, they had one called Blackout.
Yeah, it was like purple,
Yeah.
but no, they had a white one. But
I
anyway, I'll throw a Dew SA in there, maybe, and then for dessert, I'm gonna take a full Dairy Queen ice cream cake. I'm a hungry boy.
That's good. That's good.
That's pretty good. What about you?
I had to go. So obviously I had a lot of thoughts since last time. I mean, unlike Brad.
Sorry about that.
But I changed up I don't remember what I said last time. Probably something delicious at the time. But I'll go off fast food, like you said. Also, I have the Taco Bell nacho fries. They just came
Oh,
back.
those are pretty good.
Just came back.
You don't like those? Oh,
Oh.
they're kind of salty.
Yeah, I'm not a big put stuff on my fries person. I do cheese is okay, but like I don't know when there's weird flavors and like
You just like salted
chili
fries.
cheese fries. No.
No.
What?
Wow.
I know when I love like the Frito burrito things, but yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird thing for me.
I was about to say on top of my nacho fries,
You're gonna
I'm
put
going with
chili?
Sonic chili cheese fries
Okay.
with extra onions and jalapenos on them.
Okay.
Fire.
Stank breath. Okay.
Hey, you're going at
Along
Right.
with that Sonic
Expands.
order, I'm getting about 30 mozzarella sticks from
Oh.
Sonic.
Throwback.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna get a cheeseburger from Sonic because they're fire.
Yep.
Anyways.
Pretty good.
Cheddar bites, man. Oh.
Oh,
Cheddar bites. Mozzie sticks. Oh wait, he just said that, but
They're so good. I'd have to go with a 12-pack of tacos from Taco Bell, and
Crunchy or soft?
crunchy,
Yeah.
crunchy all the way.
Yep.
No, I'm
Me
not
too.
soft gang.
Mm-mm.
Panda Express. I'm going to
Orange.
Panda. Orange chicken with chow mein.
That's good.
I haven't had their chow
And,
mein.
and I don't like Panda Express crab ragoons, but I want to go to like the one in Harrisonville by Price
China
Chopper.
Walk.
And
That's
I'm
the best
ordering 20 crab ragoons.
You're going all out.
And I'm getting a lot of that the sweet and sour sauce. I could drink that.
For dessert, Travis.
Oh, dessert. So I'm gonna have to go on what Bradford said, tiramisu. But I'm throwing a little twist, and you guys are gonna think I'm really weird for this. But if you haven't tried it, don't knock it. It's amazing. Take a bowl, get a big slice of tiramisu, put it in a bowl. Take milk, fill the bowl up like it's cereal, and just let it like get a little soggy. Let it sit
More
there.
soggy than it already is.
Yep, let it sit there for about a minute. Then you start to eat. Oh,
I do that with white cake.
yeah,
Like white cake, like
Yeah.
crumble it up and then pour
Interesting.
milk over it and eat it with a spoon. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's good stuff. That's good
yeah.
stuff. You know what I also forgot though, and if we're gonna talk about fast food, is Firehouse Subs, the hook and ladder.
Haven't had
Oh,
I don't care for fire. I did have
geez,
had their hook and
sounds-
ladder. It is good, but I don't care for Firehouse too much.
Really?
I'd rather. I'm a Subway guy.
that. Jersey Mike's kind of stole my heart from Subway. Jersey Mike's is really good.
I like Jimmy John's too.
I
haven't had Jimmy John's.
I hate
Really,
it.
Ultimate Porker. I like their bread. I like their bread. I like it's chewy and I like that. But
I like chewy bread too. It's I
Right.
don't know what it is, but it's just
no,
That's all-
That's all I got.
that's all for your
Yeah.
dessert. What's a drink? What to wash it down?
Oh, drink. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Let's see here. If I'm having a drink, I mean Baja Blast is a good one, but it's already been said, so I'm gonna go to my second option. Let me think here. I'm going with a Wendy's Red Powerade.
Their Powerade's really good at Wendy's. It doesn't matter what flavor. It's
Or
good.
and what on top of that, I'm having another drink of orange Fanta.
Ew.
I
Orange
can
Fanta's
chug
good.
orange Fanta.
Can't do it anymore.
That's some good stuff.
I saw this recipe on you're talking about Baja Blast. I saw it on TikTok, and it was like you take Baja Blast. Well, I use Baja Blast. They use like the ocean water packets and
Yeah.
water.
Oh yeah.
I Baja Blast, and then I put like a can of pineapple juice in it, and then some cream, like creamer, like the vanilla, the sweet cream,
Yeah.
and put it all together and mix it up. Oh,
Ooh.
I've seen
It's
people,
good.
they take Baja Blast and they'll get an ice cream cone and they'll put the whole
Yeah.
ice cream
Yeah.
cone
which
in.
is basically, I mean,
That sounds really
kind of the
good.
same thing, but yeah, it is really good.
I've never tried it, but I've also heard people getting like a sweet tea from McDonald's and taking an ice cream cone and putting it in there.
If their ice cream machine's working.
Which probably is.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. I had a whole Facebook thing about this because I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. People were finally, when I finally got one, everybody's like, yeah, woo, because I love Shamrock Shakes. I love them. And you know, they're only here for like March.
Yeah.
And it's like, I went to like 7 different McDonald's and they're like, I'm sorry, our ice cream machine is broken. I was like, it is not. It is not.
You
You
know what
want
you're
job
doing.
security, man. Be an ice cream machine fixer at McDonald's.
That
Good
is true.
grief. And especially during Shamrock.
Shammer season, yeah.
I think I got 2 all like the whole month. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Their
And I got to
sales
where
would
it's
be
just-
up so much if they got their ice cream fixed.
And I get mean. Okay? I'm just like, what do you mean your ice cream? I'm like, oh, shocker. Always like saying something obnoxious. Because I'm
Let
like,
me get in there with the damn ranch. I'll fix it.
I'll fix it
I'll fix it
myself.
myself.
You show up with your own bucket of ice cream.
Yeah.
Can you make me a Shamrock Shake with this ice cream?
Here you go. Like, they just don't want to mess with it. I
Unreal.
think that's what it is.
Delicious. Final good meals or delicious death row final meals. Sorry, I'm starving right now. I haven't eaten in a long
Hey, we're
time.
going to the Roadhouse after this, so.
Roadhouse, that sounds fun. All right, well, we want to thank you for coming on, taking
you.
this time out of this Sunday.
It was fun. I had a great time.
It's really fun.
Confessions and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to add that as the
That's-
third segment. One confession.
We should add that 5 real questions, 5 real answers, 1 confession with 3 real people. We should start confessing things to people.
I had a student come up to me at a wedding. He's like, Miss Bradford, I got to tell you something. And I'm like, no, just don't tell me. Just don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. He's like, one time we went to, we were supposed to stay in the library. We were at UCM, and I went next door. I was like, why are you telling me this now? He's like, well, it was like 5 years ago. So I'm
You
like,
can count me absent if you want. But
Yeah.
It's up to you.
I'm like, I don't want confessions. Just let me think that.
Just let me live.
Thanks for ruining my night, Travis. Now. Totally kidding.
Oh, man. All right, well, Travis, where can everyone find us at?
Find us at the _podcast 24, and that is on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and Facebook.
Yep.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Gives us many of shout outs. Make those videos, and we will repost them. Thank you for watching. And
Travis needs to get back on TikToks, by the way. He forgot to mention he hasn't made a TikTok in like 4 months.
But I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I am. I ain't working tomorrow. Today's Sunday. Got too much rain this weekend. I ain't working tomorrow. Well, I guess you won't see this till Wednesday. But I'll be posting video Wednesday. No, I might be working. I'm going to drop videos tomorrow or Monday.
Sometime this week.
You guys will have more videos soon.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. And we will see you next week.
You don't even need me. I'll watch you walk away. The stars are falling right in place. I'll watch you walk away. You stole my heart from inside of me.